DMO Online is a new online game being developed at Vigil Games set in the Warhammer 40k universe. The big things we're talking about at GamesCon is, first of all, our first playable race, which is the Imperium of Man, and our first playable class, which is the Black Templar Space Marine. It's 40k, so there's going to be a lot of combat, a lot of action. It's way more action-oriented than your typical MMO, but at the end of the day, it still has a lot of the same RPG trappings. There's quests and missions and guilds and groups and all that kind of stuff. It's just the base gameplay is way more visceral, way more action-oriented, way more suitable to the 40k universe. 40k is a science fiction universe, so when we first started working on the game, we realized right away that we were going to have to change the basic mechanics of your standard MMO, because generally in those games, guns just aren't fun. So we had to push it a lot more towards, I wouldn't say it's not like a Twitch FPS, but it's somewhere between that and a typical MMO. And there's a lot of stuff that just came out of that. It just had to be faster, guys die quicker. It's just they were kind of natural extensions of what you would have to do to make a really cool gun-based MMO. We don't want it to be overly punishing. Obviously, it can't be nothing, otherwise people would just grind themselves endlessly and die all the time. But it really depends. I mean, there's two different parts of the game. There's obviously the PvP aspect of the game, and there's the PvE aspect of the game. And how severe and the effects of death depends on what you're doing. Are you in a battleground? Are you an instance? Are you, what are you doing? And that dictates the death penalty ultimately. Vehicles are a really big part of the game. I mean, in addition to like personal vehicles you can drive around, like motorcycles and that sort of thing, we have a full suite of battleground vehicles, and all the playable races in the game have a ton of different vehicles they can pilot. They're all multi-manable, so like 4 guys can jump in a tank, 1 guy can drive, the rest of the guys can choose. They have, they have physics. They react with the world. They impact with each other. You can jump berms on a bike. You can peel out. You can do all that stuff you would expect from an action game. The cool thing about 40k, it's such a huge, expansive universe that you can just like pin a needle on a map and just pick a spot, and that's basically what we did. The game takes place across multiple worlds. Each world has multiple zones, and it's all free roaming, seamless. It's a big, massive world you get to cruise around and explore, and we want to give you the experience of being in the 40k universe. So I think people new to the IP and people familiar with the IP will see that there's a lot of elements from 40k, and it's just a really cool, compelling world to explore in.